Hello, we're Mumford and Sons, and you're listening to 89 FM, the Radio Rock.
So, hi, nice meeting you. I'm Luiza from 89 FM, the Radio Rock in Brazil. It's so nice being able to talk to you guys.
And you, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So, I got a few questions if we good to go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk about the new album, of course, because Prize Fighter is your sixth studio album following Rushmere in 2025. And I think it's been an incredible productive year for you guys. So I want to know, how did you experience this creative flow?
You know, we just stuck our hands out and waited for the songs to fall from the sky. And they kept falling, so we had to keep catching them. And it was the most inspired couple of years we've ever had as a band. And we worked quite hard to make sure we didn't drop the songs, you know. And it's been really fun. I think we've sort of found the joy in what we do again, with I think even more like passion than we've had before. So we love it. We're excited about it.
That's great to hear, because and also this record like features a few collaborations. That's something quite new in your discography. So how did that transition happen of like sharing space for strong voices to contribute to this body of work?
That's a great question. We've always been really, really collaborative at heart, and the whole sort of world that we were born out of in London as a band was literally, we're a product of collaboration. We met that way. And somehow, despite expressing that quite a lot live and on stage, on the road, we've never actually really done it on a record. And it's just a big part of who Aaron Dessner is as a producer. So when we got into his world and his space, people were just around, and the songs sort of found them in the most beautiful way. Most of these collaborations were all relational. They're generally people that we knew already. And they're just immensely additive. It's quite a sort of relief, really, to be able to express this side of our band and really embrace the sort of collaborative side.
And speaking of that, and also naming everybody involved, we got Hosier, we got Chris Stapleton, Gigi Perez, and Grace Abrams. I want to know, like, what do you feel that you learned from working with this artist that you carry forward?
Yeah, and on the writing side as well, we had Justin Vernon, who's Bon Iver. We had John Bellion, Phineas, Brandy Carlisle. You know, I think we've always been really inspired by our contemporaries and watching what they're doing. I think watching what Gracie has been able to create the last few years with Aaron Dessner too has been super inspiring. And she was around on the first day we started writing this album. And I remember texting her lyrics on the first night. She had heard the thing we were working on with Aaron and loved it and was really encouraging of it. And she was like a fairy godmother in the background, like tapping all the songs with her magical wand. And, watching her process of recording vocals on Badlands too, I was just constantly inspired by her. Chris Stapleton has got one of the greatest voices of all time, in my opinion. So it was a dream come true to get him to sing on here. We've watched Hosier the last few years. Well, we've been friends with him for 15 years or something. And watching him the last few years just blossom into this artist that is unspeakably charismatic and passionate and beautiful, and as a human being as well. So spending more time with him has been a blessing. I think we're constantly inspired by people around us, musicians around us. So it's just finding the right people to have in the room, and it's been great.
Absolutely. It sounds like a very fun studio time, I would say.
Yeah, it was fun.
And there's a lot of tracks that I absolutely love, but one that stood out for me the most was Conversation with My Son. Like, oh my God. So I want to know if you could tell me more about the songwriting process, the recording process behind it, and what the song means to you on a personal level.
Yeah, well, we were up at Aaron's studio upstate New York, in the middle of nowhere, really. And Ben had said he wanted to work on something that had a kind of folky, cyclical chord progression. Started working on this chord progression. And I had been in the coffee shop earlier in the day writing poetry, like a real twat. And then we sat down to work on this chord progression together, and Ted was on the bass and Aaron was on the guitar and I was writing notes. Ben was playing piano, and it just is this perfect like example of the collaborative spirit that our band gets to enter into, I think. And particularly on this occasion with Aaron Dessner. where I was writing lyrics and I was looking up at Ted and he'd just give me a nod. And I'd write another lyric, I'd look at Ben, he'd give me a thumbs up. And we wrote it in like an hour and then recorded it on the same day. And that's basically the recording that you hear. And it was a good example of our band doing, I think, what it does best, which is like feeding off each other, allowing everyone to play to their strengths, supporting each other, and then writing a song that we felt really confident together, the three of us, and Erin as well, felt confident as it was something we wanted to say on a record, you know, and it means a huge amount. It draws on lots of influences, that song, lyrically, like authors like Paul Kingsnorth and W.H. Auden and Yuda Amakai, who I was reading at the time, but it also says something really personal that each of us could really relate to about life as we've experienced it so far, and life as how we want to experience it going forward. So, you know, with the rough and the smooth and the failures and the successes, the gangsters and the angels, you know.
Absolutely. It's very powerful. I mean, you guys really touched me. It's my favorite one. I was like, oh,
thanks,
God, this is
Luiza.
incredible. Incredible. Guys, I have to mention, you returned to Brazil after a 10-year wait. Like 10 years?
Yeah, but to be
I can only imagine.
Yeah, but to be fair, we weren't doing anything for 6 of those years, right? So it wasn't personal.
Absolutely. But I think that your social media has been floated with a lot of come to Brazil hashtags.
Yeah.
So it's finally it's finally happening. And could you share like what's your relationship with the Brazilian fans, and also which track from this album you're most excited to play live?
I mean, we love a festival. We always see it as a great opportunity to like meet a whole breadth of audience, and our memory from that show, it's in like easily the top 5 and maybe the top 3, along with like Glastonbury in the UK, and Hyde Park is a big one for us, and Arena di Verona. We have these shows that we reference, and the rock, you know, the Lollapalooza show was super special. I think it's very rare that when you have a really high expectation of a show, it will actually be met, let alone surpassed. But in this case, we had no idea what amount of fun was waiting in store for us. So we've been really working on a way to get back and do more shows in Brazil. And we can only apologize it's taken this long, but we're incredibly excited to come back.
And I'm excited to play the banjo song. We haven't played the banjo song live yet, and that'll be really fun to play, I think.
I was going to say that Rock in Rio is like huge, so maybe we're reaching for the top 1 in your list here.
I think we can. I'm
just saying.
I think we can do
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Guys, to wrap this up, could you share like a message for the Brazilian fans that are counting down the days to see you live, and also to experience listening to this album finally?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think what we'd say to our Brazilian audience is like, we're sorry it's taken us so long to come back, but we could not be more excited to come back. I think it's been like top of our agenda for lots of our meetings over the last few years. We've been saying we've got to get back to Brazil. So I think it's the show, alongside playing at Hyde Park in our hometown, playing in Rio is the show I'm looking forward to the most this year. So just from a personal point of view, they better make it really fun for me. Otherwise, I'll be angry. And I think with this record, you know, it's my favorite thing we've ever done. I love it so much. And I'm really excited for people to hear it. So knowing the passion of our audience in Brazil makes me pretty excited for them to hear it as well. I want to know if they agree with me or if I'm tripping, you know. But I just fucking love it.
Absolutely, guys. Gonna be awesome. Thank you so much.
We'll see you in September.
Love talking to you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. I'm counting the days.
Yes,
and
man.
the album is amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank
Obrigado.
you so much.
Bye-bye.
89